time has come for the blessing. In this, our final chapter. Our final destination.
Fools. No one can tame a Balrog.
What if I could help your dad?
Yeah. Oh.
How is not important. What if I could make him better? Give him back his health? Would you be willing to make a deal?
Name your price.
I'm going to preface what I'm about to say with, maybe you should think about playing a paladin. They're really good. Great at tanking, Smite Evil is a fantastic ability. Good aligned clerics are great all around, and we even have inquisitors if you still want to be a good guy, but you're feeling edgy. However, if you're here, you must have thought about playing an evil character at least once. Now, the first time most D&D players go bad, it goes something like,
I'm evil. Look, I'm stealing from the party. Look, I'm pushing old ladies down the stairs. I'm stealing from children. Take me seriously, guys, I'm evil.
What you need to go from evil fanboy to a true Dark Lord is someone to give you some guidance, someone to show you the way, someone to offer your puny soul to in exchange for power. Excuse me. So Pathfinder has brought us prestige classes and feats that will help you find something to do with your next evil character other than,
I stab the pivotal NPC in the face and run away laughing. It's what my character would do.
Before I can get into our 3 Fiendish Prestige classes, I need to talk about a feat, namely Fiendish Obedience. The prerequisites for Fiendish Obedience are Knowledge Religion, 3 ranks, and you must worship a fiendish deity, demon lord, archdevil, or similar being. Fiendish Obedience requires a daily devotional to your patron. This can be combined with spell preparation. As you increase in power, you will receive boons from your patron. At 12 HD, you'll get the first boon. At 16 HD, you'll get the second boon, and you will get your final boon at 20 HD. Taking the Fiendish Obedience feat will always give you your patron's exalted boons. If you, in addition, take the Damned Disciple feat, this will give you access to your patron's Evangelist boons, and a +2 profane bonus on 2 skills of your choice. You could also take the Damned Soldier feat. This gives you access to your patron's Sentinel boons, and a +1 profane bonus to damage with your patron's favored weapon. Finally, performing your daily obedience gives you a passive bonus of some kind, usually against a specific kind of danger. As an example, a devotion to the Archdevil Asmodeus will give you a +4 bonus to saving throws against fire effects. The first Fiendish Prestige class is the Demoniac. This is the most disappointing Prestige class. It would be nice if the Demoniac was better. Its best abilities come too late, and the requirements for getting the class are kind of excessive. Getting your boons early is the main reason to take Demoniac because some of the demon lords have great boons. The requirements to become a Demoniac are you must be of chaotic evil alignment. You must have the feats Fiendish Obedience and Iron Will. You must have Intimidate, 7 ranks. Knowledge Planes, 7 ranks. And Spellcraft, 7 ranks. You must speak Abyssal. You must be able to cast at least 2 enchantment spells of 2 different levels. You must worship a demon lord or nascent demon lord. And you must have been mentally, physically, or spiritually traumatized by a demon, either by being reduced to negative hit points by a demon's physical attack, taken a total of 10 points of ability damage or drain from a demon. These points do not have to happen all at once, but they do need to total 10. Or you must have spent 24 hours under a demon's control, either via charm, compulsion, or possession. And by the way, good luck surviving that last one. Assuming you live long enough to take levels in Demoniac, they have a D8 hit die. You gain proficiency with your patron's favored weapon. With the exception of first level, you're treated as having gained a level in your previous spellcasting class for the purposes of spells known and spells per day, every time you take a level in Demoniac. At level 1, you gain the trait Damned. If you're killed and someone tries to resurrect you, they must make a caster level check equal to 10 plus your character level or the spell fails. At first level, you also gain Demonic Mark. Once per day, you may give a spell the chaotic and evil descriptor. When you cast the spell, it is not consumed in the casting. So it's basically an extra spell per day. Finally, to maintain your demoniac levels, including spells and spell casting, you must continue your Fiendish Obedience. At second level, you gain Energumen. Once per day, as a free action, you can open your soul to a demonic entity. This gives you a +2 profane bonus to an ability score of your choice. This lasts for a number of rounds equal to your demoniac level. At 5th level, this bonus increases to +4, and you get resistance 10 versus electricity, and you get +4 saves against poison. At 7th level, the bonus increases to +6. You also gain immunity to electricity and poison. After the bonus ends, you are confused for a number of rounds equal to your demoniac level. This is the demon using you as a person suit. You may end the confusion early by making a DC 25 will save. Now, this is a possession effect, and it's immediately ended by protection from evil or protection from chaos. Now, you are treated as being possessed the whole time, so if you cast one of those spells on yourself before you enter the confused state, that would also negate it and the bonus you get. At 3rd level, you gain the first of your demonic boons. You will gain the second demonic boon at 6th level and your final demonic boon at 9th level. Additionally, this allows you to select the type of boon you get from your patron, either Exalted, Sentinel, or Evangelist. Once you've made this choice, it cannot be changed. At 4th level, you get Summon Demon. You can use Summon Monster 6 once per day as a spell-like ability. And, as you'd expect, you're restricted to summoning demons. And at 8th level, you can summon even more powerful demons. Finally, your 10th level ability is Demonic Form. When in your demonic form, your type changes to Outsider with the chaotic, demon, and evil subtypes. You gain damage reduction 10 versus good and cold iron, resistance 10 acid, cold, and fire, telepathy of a range equal to 100 feet. When you assume your final form, you also get to make a choice. You can have wings, these give you fly, 40 feet, with good maneuverability, gills, this gives you the ability to breathe underwater and a swim speed of 30 feet, or a single natural attack. Gore, claws, bite, slam, that kind of thing. Once this additional physical trait is chosen, it cannot be changed. The second prestige class is Diabolist. Now, maybe you're interested in being more of a lawful evil. Maybe you don't want to be some demon's chew toy. Maybe you want the powers of hell working for you. Or maybe you just want to stand there saying, "I'm smarter than the devil! I'm smarter than the devil! I'm smarter than the devil!" If that's true, then the Diabolist is what you're looking for. In order to become a Diabolist, you must be of lawful evil alignment. You must have the Fiendish Obedience feat. You must have 7 ranks in Knowledge Planes, Knowledge Religion, and Spellcraft. You must speak Infernal. You must be able to cast at least 2 conjuration spells of 2 different levels. You must worship an Archdevil, Infernal Duke, or similar being. And you must have conjured a devil using Lesser Planar Binding or Lesser Planar Ally or similar ability, and successfully commanded that devil to perform a task that took a minimum of 24 hours to complete. My suggestion would be to summon an imp and tell him to tail someone for 24 hours. A Diabolist has a d6 hit die. Whenever you gain a level in Diabolist, you are treated as having gained a level in your previous spellcasting class for the purposes of spells known and spells per day. At first level as a Diabolist, you gained Damned. This is almost exactly like the Demoniac version, with one possible exception. The wording in the Book of the Damned clearly says, the DC to return the Diabolist is 10 plus the Diabolist's level. It's likely that in reality the DC is exactly the same as Demoniac, but because of that strange wording, I recommend that you RP argue with whatever devil has your soul and say, nah, it says right there in the Book of the Damned, my Diabolist level, so the DC should really be... Anyway, in addition to that, at first level as a Diabolist, you gain an Imp Familiar. Just like you'd expect, you gain an Imp as a familiar. This functions just like a wizard's arcane bond with the improved familiar feat. At 5th level, the Imp gains one of the following as an at-will spell-like ability: Bleed, Deathwatch, Detect Evil, Detect Law, Doom, Ghost Sound, Mage Hand, Message, Open Close, or Prestidigitation. Additionally, the Imp gains a spell-like ability usable 1 time per day. You can choose from the following: Curse Water, Floating Disc, Grease, Hold Portal, Identify, Silent Image, Unseen Servant, or Ventriloquism. Finally, at 5th level, the Imp's telepathy increases to 60 feet. At 8th level, choose 2 more at-will spell-like abilities and 1 more 1 time per day spell-like ability. The range of your Imp's telepathy increases to 1 mile. Next, at 1st level, you gain Infernal Charisma. You get a +2 bonus on charisma checks, that's Bluff, Diplomacy, and Intimidate, when interacting with devils. This bonus increases to +4 at 4th and +6 at 7th. Also, like the Demoniac, you must continue to remain devoted to your patron. You must daily perform your Fiendish Obedience. Or it says very clearly in the contract you signed that they can revoke your Diabolist levels, and any spellcasting you've gained out of that. At 2nd level, as a Diabolist, you get Channel Hellfire, a number of times per day equal to your Charisma modifier. You can have a spell which deals energy damage instead deal Hellfire damage. Hellfire damage is half fire damage and half unholy damage. Now, because this is Hellfire we're talking about, you can set things on fire underwater and places without air. Evil-aligned and evil subtype creatures take no damage from the unholy portion of Hellfire damage. Good-aligned and good subtype creatures take double damage from the unholy part of Hellfire damage. Finally, Hellfire spells are treated as having both the lawful and evil descriptor. This is for the purpose of things like protection from law and protection from evil. Also at 2nd level, you gain Infernal Bargain. When using Planar Ally or similar spell, you may make an opposed charisma check against a called but not summoned devil. If you succeed, the price of your offering is reduced by half. Now that's what we call getting a hell of a deal. At 3rd level, you gain Augmented Summoning as a bonus feat. You do not need to meet the requirements for having Augmented Summoning. At 3rd level, you also gain your first of your Infernal Boons. You gain the 2nd at 6th and the 3rd at 9th, again just like the Demoniac. Also at 3rd level, you gain an ability sure to upset any Inquisitors in the party, Heresy. You get a +2 bonus on checks related to researching devils, true names, and diabolic sigils. This bonus increases to +4 at 9th level. At 5th level, you gain Hellish Soul. This removes the DC spell fail chance from Damned, unless of course you were killed by Asmodeus, an archdevil, or some other infernal power, then the DC still applies. At 6th level, you get Infernal Transport. This allows you to travel through hell twice per day. This functions as Dimension Door. Or you can use it once per day as Teleport. This effect is blocked by areas warded against evil. At 8th level, you can cast Hellfire Ray twice per day as a spell-like ability. Finally, at 10th level, you get Master Conjurer. When you call a devil whose name you know, you cast the calling as a standard action and bargain as a move action. You also add your Diplomacy, Bluff, or Intimidate to your bargaining charisma check. Finally, the best of the 3 Fiendish Prestige classes found in the Book of the Damned is the Souldrinker. Trust me, you'll be dying to play this one. In order to become a Souldrinker, you must be of neutral evil alignment. You must have the Fiendish Obedience feat and Great Fortitude. You must have 7 ranks in Knowledge Arcane, Knowledge Planes, and Spellcraft. You must speak either Abyssal or Infernal. You must be able to cast at least 2 necromancy spells of 2 different levels. Next, you must worship one of the 4 horsemen. And finally, you must have died or had your soul leave your body. A good way to do that is with the Magic Jar spell. If you've managed to do all that, Souldrinkers have a D6 hit die, and you have proficiency with your patron's favored weapon. At 1st level, you gain Apocalyptic Vow. You've heard this one before. If you die, in order to bring you back, the caster of the spell that's trying to return you to life must make a DC 10 plus your character level check, or the spell fails. You also get a +3 untyped bonus that stacks against death effects. At first level, you also gain a Cacodemon Familiar. Your new Balloon of Evil can, once per day, use an ability called Soul Lock. This creates a soul gem from the spirit of a sentient creature that died in the last minute. There are a lot of things you specifically as a Souldrinker can do with soul gems, but even for non-Souldrinkers, soul gems have their uses. They can be used as spell components and crafting magic items, and they can be traded with many evil outsiders. And let's not forget the all-important you have to maintain your Fiendish Obediences or lose your powers. Now, when you go shopping for your preferred Horseman of the Apocalypse, I'm going to recommend Hiron, Pathfinder's Horseman of Death. His Evangelist boons are great for you. Your first level boon gives you your choice of spell-like abilities, including Create Soul Gem 1 time per day. Your second boon is called Soul Crush. This lets you break a soul gem and gain fast healing 15 for a number of rounds equal to your hit die. The third boon allows you to cast Soul Bind as a spell-like ability once per day. At second level, a Souldrinker gains the ability to cast Enervation 2 times per day as a spell-like ability. Caster level equal to your character level. You can do this 4 times per day at 5th level and 6 times per day at 8th level. Also at second level, you gain a Soul Pool. Your Soul Pool starts at 0, and you can fill it with a number of soul points equal to your Souldrinker level. Whenever you bestow a negative level on a creature other than yourself, you gain a soul point. You can use these soul points to do several things. 1, you can use it to create items. Every soul point you spend when creating a magic item is worth 500 gold in raw materials. 2, you can use soul points to recover spell slots. Pick an expended spell slot or level of spell known. Spend twice as many points to equal that spell level. You then regain the spell. Finally, you can use soul points to protect your soul. You can expend soul points to prevent gaining negative levels. This is at a rate of 1 soul point per 1 negative level. At third level, you gain your first Fiendish boon, second at 6th, third at 9th. At fourth level, you gain Lesser Oblivion. You gain a passive ability in the form of an immunity based on the horseman you follow. The Horseman of Pestilence gives you immunity to diseases, including supernatural and magical diseases. The Horseman of Death gives you immunity to aging effects and constitution damage and drain. The Horseman of War gives you immunity to bleed effects and strength damage and drain. Finally, the Horseman of Famine gives you immunity to ingested and inhaled poisons. And the Souldrinker no longer needs to eat or drink. At 7th level, you gain Oblivion. This gives you a spell-like ability usable at will at the cost of 1 soul point. Pestilence will allow you to cast Contagion. Death will allow you to cast Vampiric Touch. War will allow you to cast Rage. And Famine will allow you to cast Bestow Curse. Finally, at 10th level, you gain Greater Oblivion. This gives you an additional spell-like ability usable at will at the cost of 3 soul points. Pestilence gives you Plague Storm. Death gives you Wither Limb. War gives you Blade Barrier. And Famine gives you Quickened Feast of Ash. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the 3 Fiendish Prestige classes found in Pathfinder's Book of the Damned. If you're interested in more class analysis and strategy guides for Pathfinder, check out D6 Damage right here on YouTube. Thank you for watching.